Hey, it's Tandy with Common Ground Alaska. A while back, I gave a talk on community sufficiency versus self-sufficiency, and unfortunately, that talk wasn't recorded. So I've been asked about it several times, so I thought I would just do a re-recording of this talk and share it on our YouTube channel so you can watch it if you're interested. So here goes. I am Tandy Hogate. My husband Gene and I own Common Ground Alaska. We're a U-pick fruit and berry farm in Big Lake, and to my knowledge, we're the only commercial cantaloupe growers in the state. We're homesteaders at heart, and we both come from a long line of homesteading and self-sufficiency. When we started Common Ground Alaska, we had no idea how deeply this would ignite a passion in us to help ourselves become more self-sufficient, but also to teach others what we know and to learn from others around us who are so much more knowledgeable than we are. This led to a question that's been burning deep in our minds. What if self-sufficiency isn't the best goal? What if, instead, we were to build a community of people who learn from each other, share with each other, and help one another along the way? Simply a community of like-minded people who are striving for a similar goal. Historically, even, pioneers who are the model of self-sufficiency actually leaned on communities for certain things. Think of things like barn and house raisings, taking their harvest to the local mill, getting horseshoes made by the village blacksmith, or getting things like coffee and sugar from the local store. Which is what led us to this new branch of our farm we're calling Sustainable Alaska. In 2023, we launched our Homestead series of classes. These are classes that are offered regularly. We have several, and we're learning from experts about topics like beekeeping. We're learning about herbalism. We're learning about food preservation, starting an orchard, growing an Alaska garden, building moose-proof fences, grafting, fruit trees, so much more. The goal of Sustainable Alaska isn't for everyone to learn everything, but it is to get more knowledge in the hands of the people. Most of the time when a conversation is started about self-sufficiency or homesteading, it starts with what a person is good at or what they love, whether it's gardening, beekeeping, preserving, or hunting. Typically, a person starts with what they know, and that's awesome. Because here's the thing. If you know how to do one thing really well, chances are you're passionate about it. And if you're passionate about it, you'll jump through flaming hoops just to continue. For a gardener, that might look like seed shortage. No big deal. I already plant heirloom seeds and I preserve them so I can grow food for my family. For the beekeeper, it might be bee shortage. That's okay. We've been working hard toward an Alaska sustainable honeybee, and we're getting close. For the food preservationist, they might say limited trucks coming up this fall. That's okay. I've been foraging and preserving all summer. I'll just learn how to forage a little bit more and use what we do have available so we will eat this winter. This can be applied to every single facet of homesteading and self-sustainability, from hunting to farming to fishing, ranching, chicken keeping, the list goes on. My pastor once said, behind every good ministry is a fanatic, and I think that's true in life too. I believe it's the fanatics, the ones with the fire in their belly, who are going to bring food security to Alaska, and I'm so glad to be living during a time that this is important to so many. But how does this fit into community? I personally believe the 17th century quote, "No man is an island." Yeah, we can strive to be as self-sufficient as possible, but it's nearly impossible to do it all and do it well. For instance, we own a small U-pick farm in Big Lake, as you know. We love everything we do, and we're really good at most of it. But several years ago, we decided that with so much clean acreage filled with blossoms year-round, we would start keeping bees. I want to back up just one second. Gene, my husband and the vision behind our farm, is a natural when it comes to working with soil and growing things. I remember a time when we were getting ready to plant the first few trees on our 4-acre orchard. Gene kneeled down, he picked up some soil, he ran it through his fingers, and he said, "Yeah, this'll do. I need to get some lime down, got to keep the pH up, but the pigs did a good job of mending this soil." I stood there having no idea what he was talking about. It just looked like dirt running through his hands to me, but he knew, and I did understand that Gene had a knowledge that I didn't have and may not really be able to get, because it's just so natural for him. He just knows soil. He's really good at managing almost all aspects of growing things on the farm. However, beekeeping is not his thing, nor is it mine. It just doesn't come naturally to us. We have a friend who comes to look at our bees, and he just knows exactly what they need as soon as he looks in the hives. He is an expert. He's passionate about bees. We aren't. That's where the idea of community comes in. You see, of course, we can keep raising bees every year, and we can limp along. We get a little honey, but it could be done so much better, and we know that. So in this case, what if we were to start offering our farm, which we're doing this year, to beekeepers who would like more space, more clover, more wildflowers, and more blooms for their bees to enjoy? We get pollination and a little bit of honey for offering up our place and for keeping a day-to-day eye on them, while the beekeeper gets a safe place to keep more bees. What a relief! But let's take it one step further. If you're awesome at gardening and you always grow way too much for your family, it'd be a great idea to think about who you can be bartering with. Maybe you don't have many trees on your property, but you need firewood. You could maybe trade some fruits and vegetables for firewood. Or maybe you save seeds, and seeds are kind of at a premium right now. Maybe you could barter some seeds with someone for something that you need. The options are endless, but you have to have that community built in order to create a system that flows and works. But sometimes maybe you just want to learn. Maybe you want to keep chickens, but you've never had them before, or you had them in the lower 48 and haven't grown them up here. Alaska is much different than it is down there. Between the darkness and the cold, it can be really challenging. If you know someone who raises chickens, ask them. Generally, people, especially in a community, love sharing what they know because they're passionate about it, and they love sharing with someone who's interested, who will listen and learn. We don't have to know everything to be self-sufficient. I believe it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's working smarter and not harder. But even more than that, it's building a community with like-minded people and sharing our gifts while receiving the gifts of others for a truly sustainable future. Whenever possible, see what you can get locally before hitting buy now on your Amazon app. Buy from a local farmer or grower, or make stopping at stores like Bush's Bunches part of your weekly shopping. Remember what I said about the fanatic? That's actually us. That's all of us, every one of us. And it's going to take all of us working together to make a difference. And that is how we will obtain food security in Alaska.